Next thing I'm going to show you is the Class Notebook add-in. So the Class Notebook add-in is totally free. You can get it from onenote.com/class notebook. What's great about this is when you set up your class notebook, you initially have your welcome tab here, and then you have your collaboration space, your content library. You can add a teacher-only section, but as you add your students, they start getting their own little subsection groups. And as you see here, I have all the other students listed. What's great is I am able to push out content directly to my students and or share with them. The collaboration space, anyone can edit. The content library, I can put things in there, but they cannot edit them. So anything that's in here, these all right here, I put them there, but nobody can edit them, which is great because sometimes as a teacher, you need to be able to put stuff somewhere and you don't want the kids to be able to collaborate on it. If you want them to collaborate, that's what this is for. They're able to work in here and they can work collectively in the collaboration space. Anyone can type in there. So going back to why the class notebook is great. I can distribute pages to all of my students or just to some of my students. So right here, I have distribute page. These are the sections that each student has in their notebooks that I set up for them. So if I wanted this page right here to go to their math, there's 30-something students in my class, so week 1 lesson plans, I click on one of the students and I click on their math section, it will populate here in a minute. If I go to individual and group distribution, I can now pick any one of the students that I want and say, maybe this one, maybe they're the only ones that need this. So I can put it in their ELA folder, their section, and I hit copy. Now when I go to student 1, which is way down here, there it is in their ELA section. Or since I distributed it up to everyone's, week 1 lesson plans are right there as well. I also have the ability to create new sections or section groups for each of the students. So if I wanted them to have new sections, I can go to distribute new section, create a new one right here, and it would populate on all of their lists, which is very helpful. I can also review student work. So if I want to look at everyone's ELA, it tells me who typed what in their ELA. So right here, this student made this mark on top of that particular page. And then I can double click, I can insert audio. Now it's picking up my audio recording as I'm speaking. I hit stop, and then they can double click on this file and be able to listen to my audio feedback that I just left for them. Really powerful stuff, and I can just very easily click between, and you see up here in the top left, everything is changing. So it tells me this is my sample class notebook, this is the student that I'm on, and this is the section that I'm on. And if I move this out of the way, it tells me what page I'm on. If I click on student 2, now you see it's changed. ELA tab is over here, the section. It tells me I'm in student 2. And if I were to draw an arrow, just kind of saying this right here hasn't been done, and I go back to the other student, now I'm on student 1, and I say, hey, you still need to do this. When I flip between them, you can tell I'm going between 2 different students, which is great and really powerful stuff. I hit the back arrow to get out, back to the class notebook. Say I had new students that just joined the class. I can go to add remove students. And this shows all the notebooks that I currently have, and I'm working in this one. If I had a new student show up, I can type in their username, add them, click next, and now it's going to add this student to the notebook. Only only takes a few minutes for them to finally be able to sync to it, and it all goes through Active Directory. If I wanted to remove a student from that class notebook, so now I go back to sample class notebook, and I just added that student, so let's go ahead and remove her. I didn't mean to add her, so now I can update it. It will remove her from my class notebook. If I wanted to add another teacher, I could very easily do that. Again, go to my notebook. That is me. So if I wanted to add another teacher, I could do that as well. And now she'll have the same access that I have to this notebook. If I want to manage the notebook, there's some new steps and procedures in here that you're able to do, which are really cool. This is the notebook that I'm working in. These are the student sections. Again, I can add a section to all of their notebooks. I can enable the teacher-only section. It's locked, that they don't even have permissions to see anything that's in there, which is great. I can lock the collaboration space. So maybe we're working together and my students are demonstrating to me that they cannot work together. I can lock the collaboration space, or maybe we don't need to work in the collaboration space at this particular time. I can lock it and then unlock it later. What's also great is I can individualize the permissions for my students. So I click collaboration space permissions, and now I have this section and this section available. And if I only want some of these students, so let's go with that one and those ones in there, I can hit give read only access to those students. I hit save and I close it. Now there's specific permissions. So when I click on it again, only 2 students have access to that section, meaning that those are the only 2 that will see that section, which is fantastic. I can also add parent and guardian links. So if I want an individual student's parents to be able to see what that student is doing, I just have to select the student from the list. So if I want student number 1 right here, there's the link. I just send that to their parent. When they click on it, and I open a new tab, it will open up that notebook from that student's perspective, just showing what they have in their section, which is really great. If I wanted to get this for all students, I could select here. It will send me a list of all of those hyperlinks, and then I can send them out to each of their parents. If I want the parents to see the content library, I could also get that link. And again, paste it in here. There's the content library. So now the parents can see everything that we're doing except for the collaboration space, which is fine because the collaboration space is open to everyone as I want it to be. If I wanted them to have access to the collaboration space, I could go ahead and share this notebook link. Sure. And it will open up that notebook for me, just like that.